Welcome to the Angler Talk Podcast with Chris and Aaron. Brought to you by FishingMagicianTV.com.
What is up, everybody? It's Chris back again with another weekly episode of Angler Talk. So this week I'm sitting here solo, but we were joined by Aaron and Austin Meeks over in Guntersville, Tennessee from Gameday Lures. This man makes a phenomenal bait. Some of the stuff I've never even seen before. I mean, you want to talk about crazy color combinations? This man has got it. But also baits that we know are going to work. So I hope you like our interview with Austin. Check it out. And here we are with Austin Meeks out of Guntersville, Tennessee from Gameday Lures. How we doing, brother?
Good, man. How you guys doing?
I can't complain, man. I know Aaron and me are passing through some heat waves here in Florida and Jersey. Today we clocked 102 over here.
Jeez Louise. We had a little bit less humidity here today, but it's still warm. Every time I'm in the bait shop, I'm sweating to death.
God, 105, guys. 105. 97, like ridiculous humidity to where you can't even count it anymore. It's
probably
there.
Could cut it. It's so thick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Man, so Austin, I've been talking to Aaron all week, man. I've been really excited to get you on the show, man. I've been following your TikTok for a little bit now, and some of the baits you're making are literally blowing my mind. Like I told you before we got on live, I'm not a freshwater guy, but I mean, some of the stuff that you're making is just like, it's got me looking at the screen like, yeah, I'm going to get some flounder on that one. Mm-hmm. So what gave you the idea and the drive to make Gameday Lures? How did it all start for you?
You know, that's a really good question. I actually got into bait making. It really fell into my lap. I had been doing it a little bit with a gentleman, and unfortunately he passed away. And he lived in Huntsville, Alabama, and whenever he did pass away, I inherited a lot of his molds and a lot of things like that. And since that, I have purchased two other smaller bait companies out, and just really got a passion for it. I mean, it's a way for me to express, my inner artist, and being able to, show how cool bait making actually is. It's so much fun because you get to use your creativity in every aspect of just coming up with amazing colors to just doing something a little bit different than what's, out there in the big companies. But I've really taken it and ran with it. A little background, I fished in college, and, coming out of college, I knew that I wanted to do something in the fishing industry, but didn't know quite what it was. And bait making kind of found me, and here I am. I've been running Gameday for right at 2 years now, and it's only the tip of the iceberg.
Well, Austin, I busted Chris's chops earlier, and for the way that he loved the Gameday Lures. But a little back secret here, dude. I've been following you from the beginning, dude. Like from the first Facebook page, from the first Instagram, like something about your lures struck me. I don't know if it was the color, variations, or just the way that you're putting these baits together with care, but it struck out from a lot of the bait manufacturers that are out there. And I always, followed along just to see the progress. And you've been on an uphill battle, dude, and coming close to where I can, say you're right there with one of, the top manufacturers that I would choose over anybody else. So that's huge, man. I mean, it's awesome.
And I really appreciate you saying that, Aaron. It's like you said, the care, and like we were talking about before we started recording, the attention to detail, and just taking a little bit more time, on being able to pour the bait, and, just the packaging, to the colors, to, so in the retrospect of things, 10 extra drops of colorant, is less than pennies, so yeah. It doesn't take much to make a product that does stand out. And you're not the first person to tell me that, as far as just the different colors and different things, aspects of what I am doing. So
I hear you, man. And I was on your website a little bit earlier because I do want to put a nice order together, because I do want to test some of these things out, man. And you got a lot of swim baits, you got a lot of craws and all stuff like that. What is probably like your number one seller, you would say?
As far as the crawls go, my Z Thumper, the 3.5 inch Z Thumper, it's probably my best seller just because it's such a versatile bait. You can throw that thing about on anything as far as any type of trailer goes. I've even sold them to guys throwing them weightless as far as topwater. It's just got a lot of action to it. It's definitely my best seller. My second best seller is probably a 10-inch curly tail worm, which I call it a game day worm. That's just my confidence bait. It's what I love to throw. I've caught so many big fish here in Tennessee on that. And when you've got confidence in a bait, it makes it a little bit easier to sell it.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, man. And, those are actually the two that I was looking at because over here in the Northeast, right now is flounder fishing time. And, what I like to do is I like to use what's called a chicken rig, which is just your basic high-low rig. But instead of putting a sinker on the bottom, I throw a bucktail. And I throw anywhere between a 6 to a 10-inch swimming grub on the bottom. And I was looking at your 10-inch grub earlier, and I was like, you know what, man? If I soak that thing in some finessence, I'm pretty sure I catch me a big old doormat for sure.
Oh, definitely. It's especially with you're talking about flounder fishing. One of the biggest things too, Aaron, that you had mentioned about my product itself. I make a product that you can catch more than one fish on my soft plastics. The blend that I use. I'm not afraid to say it. I use Bait Plastics brand of Plastisol. In my opinion, they are the best, and their product is the best, and it shows in the baits that I make. So it's that's an important thing that I like to say for sure.
Oh, it's huge, man. It's definitely huge because when you're talking about trying to make a quality bait that is affordable and that also holds up to catching multiple fish. That's the most important thing for me, man. And I think you're selling yourself short because I tell you this, I look high and low for a creature bait, and not just an average creature bait, not your regular crawl or something of the sort. But when I go to Bass Pro or any of these big stores, big brands, I'm searching for something that looks like a weird looking creature bug, dude. And I will tell you this, the 4-inch alien and the rocket crawl, dude, has me sold right now. I'm thinking to myself, these are two bug patterns or two creature patterns that I haven't seen in years. And I would love to throw on the back of a jig, and just work the bottom with, because I think it's something that isn't seen all the time where I'm at in particular.
Definitely, and the rocket crawl and the alien is baits that I really brought on, this year. They're fairly new for me. I've only had them, as far as been selling them for probably 4 or 5 months, but the input that I have gotten from those baits has been fantastic. Both of those styles of baits are similar to products that are out there that you could buy, at big companies, but they're a little bit different enough and a little bit of my spin on them, that it does separate them. I look for baits, especially when I'm getting new molds and things like that. I look for different, like what you're talking about, going into big, like Bass Pro Shops, and just looking for something different, just because, in my opinion, different is good. Bass and whatever species of fish you're fishing for, they see so much of the same things. So when you've got something a little bit different, it's like, whoa, what was that? And it works.
Austin, I'll even tell you, man, the rocket worm also, because here all summer long, even leading up into the spring and then into summer, the speed worms, they've been a big thing here in South Florida, right? And your rocket worm has that speed tail to it, to where I think it would be killer just as the speed worms are, man, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. The 5.75 inch rocket worm is definitely been selling a lot over the past week or two. I've actually got a little bit bigger version of the rocket worm that I don't have on my website yet, but it's coming. It's a 7-inch version. It's a little bit more beefier, and I'm excited about it for sure.
Me too.
I hear you, man. And as far as a saltwater guy like I am, when you get past about 40 foot of water, colors don't really matter all that much, because past 40 foot the color kind of dissipates.
Exactly.
But you came up with this bait, this dual injected bait that I saw. It was chartreuse and pink. And man, those are the 2 of 3 top colors up here in Jersey to use.
Oh,
and
yeah,
Aaron knows
interesting.
I'm a very, very big pink shine kind of guy. I like my pink and white gulps and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I know that in freshwater, color has a lot to do with the fishing. And what you call it with the coloring and fishing in the freshwater world, you know what I'm saying? How true is it that certain colors get more of a scientifically more proven bite? Supposedly purple is one of those colors that just gets annihilated. How true is that you've seen, you know, fishing the freshwater as much as you do?
I think that it really kind of depends on the clarity of the water that you're fishing, as well as what you're saying on how deep. When you get more than 20 feet, I don't care if it's super clear water or not, from the sunlight, or even if there's no sunlight, a color is going to look so much different in water than it does in person anyways.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I like to throw a lot more reds, greens. Those reds and greens are probably my favorite. And it's funny because a lot of your primary colors,
Mm-hmm.
from color theory, in itself, really play a big part in fishing. And I've learned a lot of color theory from my girlfriend this year, because she's a hairstylist and owns her own salon and things. And
Okay.
whenever I bring the color theory into bait making, it's changed the game for me, because I find things that are complementary and I go try it and I'm like, damn, this catches fish, and like what you're saying, the pink and the chartreuse, I had gotten requests for TikTok on that, and it looked pink. It looked like pink lemonade. But
Yeah, I mean, that freaking thing looked awesome, man. I was trying to reach into the screen and grab them out, that thing looked.
but it's very interesting, as far as you being up north and saying that pinks and chartreuses, are really popular for you guys. A pink and chartreuse bait here, would it catch fish? Yes, it would. But as something more, in my opinion, a lot of it depends too on the style of bait, that are in the waterways that you're fishing too. I mean, if I'm throwing a pink bait and all of the crawfish and the shad are silver, well, I'm pissing in the wind. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
it definitely kind of plays hand in hand as to what your bait is.
Yeah, absolutely. In the video that I saw that you made, that pink and chartreuse bait, I'm not sure if it was somewhere between 5, 7, or 10 inch rocket worm, but that is something extremely similar to everything that we use up here. We try to eliminate, and I learned this from a good friend and a great captain, one of the greatest of all times. We eliminate using actual live bait because the smaller fish, they don't know any better. So they just see a bait in this, that, and the third, and that's what they go for. Now, when we go with just simply bucktails and we're putting on these big giant grubs, we're eliminating the smaller fish of biting to catch the bigger fish. Now, when I saw that chartreuse and pink bait, and I'm just looking at it, and I'm just like, I can only imagine, the flukezilla that would bite this. That is something definitely that I definitely want to try without question. And what I love about your website is that you have your swim baits, you have your craws, you have everything, but you also have a link for the custom bait option where the customer can actually ask you and inquire about exactly what he wants, and you would make it.
Yes.
And that's what I
Yes.
find that's really cool.
Yes. I think what got me really into bait making is using creativity. So if somebody has an idea, of a color, I'm all for it. It's something different. It's something new that even I can go try, but, a lot of the custom orders has done really a lot of good success for me, especially with, somebody trusting me and making baits for them. And then I actually go catch fish. So it makes a difference.
No, for sure. And Austin, I have to ask, buddy. You're a bait manufacturer, you're a bait maker. You've been doing this for a while, and you seem to be super successful at it. What started you off fishing? You got to give the listeners and the viewers kind of an insight on that. Was it family? Was it just you picking up a rod one day and trying it? How'd you get there?
Yeah, it was definitely family. My dad was involved in fishing. I probably didn't really get into full blown tournament fishing competitively until I was I'm gonna say 12 or 13. Once I got out of high school, though, and really my junior and senior year of high school, I really got involved. I got my own boat, and then going into college, our local university here, which is MTSU, Middle Tennessee, I was president of the bass fishing club there, and I fished. I fished in college, and we traveled. We traveled Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, some into Louisiana and Arkansas. But that's when I really caught my attention, because I was in college and I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and bass fishing was what got me through it.
And Chris, I always say, Austin, I've always told Chris, if there was a league within my high school or even college, I'd probably still be there. I would have tried to become a professor of a 10-year, and never left, dude, because they didn't offer any of that where I was at, man. They just, you got that from family, friends, or your spare time if you were lucky. But other than that, there was nothing in the school system, dude, that was teaching fishing or even offering a club,
Yeah, definitely. And, because I graduated college in 2016. So whenever I graduated, life kind of got caught up, and I kind of got away from it. But I'm actually now the coach of the club. So I'm still kind of involved, as far as still talking to the guys, helping them out, sharing a lot of my success and a lot of my passion and drive that I had for it, and telling them to go have fun, because once life happens after college, it's a lot different.
Oh yeah,
sure.
I hear you, man. And I've been sitting here for the past couple of questions, just thinking about whether or not I should say. A lot of people ask me, what do I use for fluke fishing, which is summer flounder. And I'm just thinking about it, and just knowing who I have on the show right now, who's crazy enough to try this out. One of the things that I use as like a, I guess you can say a lure, but it's actual bait, is salmon belly. I just gave out a very, very big secret. I would love to see Gameday Lures TikTok tomorrow, or whenever you get the chance. If you can make maybe a rocket worm in a salmon belly with some black pearl color in it, I would love to see that, the way that would look. And I can guarantee you, I am willing to put my entire name and fishing magician all over the line on that is going to catch some major summer flounder.
Yeah, and listen, Austin, let me tell you why. So there was a small bait shop in Ocean City, New Jersey that offered, I don't want to say it was 10-inch, but it was probably about a 6, maybe 7-inch pink worm. It was a bubblegum worm, and it was sold out, dude. You'd walk in and there'd be 20, 30 friggin' packs on the wall on Monday. Tuesday, you couldn't find these things across the state of New Jersey, dude. Sold out like this.
Jeez. Yeah, that's crazy. I know both of you guys watch my TikTok, and I had a video blow up last week. I bought a new colorant, and it's a changeable colorant. To the naked eye, when looking at it, it's orange. But when you hold it up to the light, it's actually pink.
Yeah, that's insane.
Sure. I have sold so many of those things over the past week and a half. I mean, I've been very, very fortunate, but and I get so many messages on Instagram daily of, hey, I need 2 packs. Hey, I need 3 packs, and I've expanded from that color into my other baits. But you talking about the bubblegum worm, that made me think, because it's so different, that color itself is nothing that's on the market, and for me, that's a leg up. It's a huge leg up.
Yeah, absolutely, man. The only company that I have seen make an orange grub is Gulp. But they don't have one with the way that I want it, with that nice little black flake in it. For some reason, that little contrast of color can change a bite like that. And I would love to see you produce that. And I'm going to tell you right now off the rip, I'll buy 5 packs right now.
Hey,
without even seeing the finished product, because I know if you're going to make it, it's going to look insane.
I love challenges. I love somebody that says, hey, I've got this in mind. I don't know, exactly, but I trust you and I want you to do it. And I've got so many customers now that will say, hey, I want something kind of like this, I know you'll knock it out of the park. Just make it, and I want 100 of them, and I'll do it, and I'll send them a picture of it, and boom, it's perfect as far as what they had in mind. So
absolutely, man. And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm freaking twitching on this chair right now. I can't wait to see this TikTok because I know it's gonna come up and I know it's gonna blow up for sure.
Heck.
I've quenched my thirst to talk to you about the lure making and stuff like that. And you are on the show Angler Talk, so we got to talk about fishing. I've heard in Gunners, Tennessee, the bass fishing is amazing. You guys got really good quality bass fishing over there. But what are other species of fish that are in your local fishery that maybe a lot of people don't know about?
Yeah, so where I live outside of Nashville, I fish predominantly Percy Priest Lake, and Percy Priest Lake is really, really well known for their catfish and also their crappie. I say crappie here. I don't know how y'all pronounce that, but crappie, you can go with. We have a lot of brush piles and stumps and things like that for their cover, and you can pull up to a brush pile and catch 30 crappie, off of one tree, if you hit it right, with all of the technology now of forward facing sonar and things, it's kind of like cheating. Yeah. But it's amazing. It's amazing because, yes, the bass fishing is phenomenal as far as largemouth and smallmouth, but I enjoy going catfishing too. I got into making what's it's kind of like a styrofoam noodle, and you'd put a main line on it and put a weight and then put a leader on that. And I would take a live bluegill, hook that sucker behind the dorsal fins. And I've caught 3 catfish, 2 blues in one channel, or not, I'm telling a fib, over 40 pounds, out there. Goodness. And catfishing, dude, it's a lot of fun. It really is. It's more of a low key kind of, you don't have to be in the game and be so focused on it. So,
Yeah, no, and I enjoyed that, dude. I missed that. There was a brackish river up north in New Jersey that I used to fish all the time, and you get them big old channel cats, man. And it was cool because it was almost like a chill and sipping and kind of hanging out on the boat thing, anchored up, and you got one light and you're just waiting for the clicker to start screaming,
Oh, definitely. I mean, on my lake, you can put a shrimp on as your bait, just a dead shrimp, and hang on because you're going to get. If you're in the right place, if it's more than 2 or 3 minutes, you just reel it in and cast it back out somewhere different because it's going to get bit for sure.
So, I got to ask, man, where do you see Gameday Lures in the next, I don't know, say year from now, man? I mean, what's in store for the supporters and viewers and listeners for Gameday, man?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I'm not doing the Gameday full time right now. I have a full time job, and I'm doing the Gameday on the side. I'm working around 20 hours a week on the Gameday. In a year time from now, I see myself probably not doing it full time. 3 years from now, for sure, full time. As far as doing the more of the custom stuff. But in my opinion, I see myself more branching out to like what you were talking about, smaller bait shops and people that value a small business and want to support that. And being here in Tennessee, there's so many phenomenal fisheries, and there's so many bait shops too that want to sell stuff. And being a smaller guy like myself, I can, as far as profit margins and things like that, you can get all into that. But I still would make money, and they would make money, because right. I'm not out to make a killing off of this stuff, but I enjoy it, and I enjoy making things that a fisherman would buy and actually go catch fish, because there's so many gimmicks out there of products that are made, and you buy into it and it catches you, but it won't catch a fish.
That's right.
So
yeah, absolutely, man.
It makes a big difference for me to, every product that I sell now and offer, I know for a fact that it catches fish because I've done it. And that's a big thing for me too. Before I ever offer a new product, I want to make sure that it's up to par for me before releasing it.
And I agree 100%. I was lucky enough to find your TikTok through a guest that we had a couple of weeks ago, which was Justin over at Buzzin' Baits. And
Yes.
I gotta say, man, I think that your soft plastics and his jigs combined are gonna make probably one of those lures that one day we're definitely gonna see in MLF fishing.
Yeah, game day, dude. Game changer, should I say? Sorry.
Yeah.
It's I can say this very briefly and not saying anything off the record, but there is possibly something going on between Game Day and Buzzin' Baits right now.
Oh. Angler Talk bringing out news to the world right now.
You're here first, ladies and gentlemen.
There's nothing as far as set in stone, but we definitely have something going on.
Absolutely, man. And I cannot wait to see what is going on because like everybody hears me say in every single episode, please support your smaller guys, your local guys. I mean, because these are products that are made by people who are actually fishing. It's not made by some guy who gets paid to sit at a desk and doodle on his pad all day long. This guy is going out there. He's hitting the lakes. He's testing everything that he's doing. He's coming up with insanity color combinations that I'm pretty sure are going to work. And, this is just something, why not embody the cornerstone of our industry? Just because the name is big and it's in the best pro shops and the Cabela's doesn't necessarily mean that it's good.
That's right.
The guys like Austin, guys like Justin, and, people who actually take the time to do the small things and do the leg work, these are the guys that we should be supporting, not some freaking Alibaba guy who buys it. There's been people on this show that, later on I find out that they're actually not making their own baits. And that kind of rubbed me the wrong way because you tell me this, and that, and third, and then I'm putting it out there, and then I find out you got an Alibaba that you snapped your name on, and that's not cool.
Yeah. There's a lot of that going on, because you can buy so much cheaper, out of the United States and shipping it in, and then just putting your brand on it and saying, hey, here it goes. But I can truthfully say everything that I make is made here in the United States, except for my packaging, which I am hoping to get that changed soon.
Yeah, and I can vouch for that because I've actually watched it.
Yes.
Now, before I ask a guest to come on the show, I will take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks to just watch every single move that they're making on social media. And then I'll go on Google and I'll type in this and I'll read this and I'll read this review. What are people saying? What is going on with this guy? And this is why I asked you to come on the show, because you are the real deal, my friend. And I wish you and Gameday Lures absolute nothing but the best of success. And I hope that this platform is going to open the eyes to a lot of people who might have never got the chance to hear about Gameday Lures here in the Northeast and in Florida, and even the 14% of people that listen in Australia. I really hope that you guys will give this stuff a tryout, and if it doesn't catch you fish, then my name is not the fishing magician at all. I'm saying that right now.
Well, I really appreciate you saying that. It does mean a lot to me, just because I am a small guy. I have a best friend of mine that helps me do this. If I didn't have him, I wouldn't be able to do it because of the demand, especially not doing it full time. But it says a lot to me, especially for you two guys to look at my stuff and look at what I'm doing, and you see it, it.
Yeah,
and that says a lot to me. It means it tells me that, I'm doing what I need to be doing.
Yeah, you're doing exactly what you need to be doing, and you're doing it the right way. And like I always tell people, if you're not going to do it the right way, don't do it at all. And you, for sure, my friend, are doing it the right way. So I'm looking at the clock, and we are running out of time now. But I want to give the opportunity for you to tell all the viewers and listeners where can they find you, and I will definitely leave a link in the description down below.
Yes, definitely. So I do have a full website, www.gamedaylures.com. I am on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok as well. My TikTok platform, I post a lot more on just because it's easier for me. But I am starting to post a lot more on Instagram and Facebook itself. But, it's just Gameday Lures on both of those platforms. Check me out.
Absolutely, guys. And I hope you guys enjoyed hearing from Austin. And we appreciate you taking the time and coming on. We know you got a very busy schedule with a full 9 to 5 plus the extra 20 every week with Gameday Lures, man. We appreciate it, brother. And thank you for coming on.
Thanks,
thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. I was honored to do this.
All right,
Anytime,
man.
buddy.
Well, that was Austin Meeks over in Tennessee, and I gotta say, man, it's been a while since I've been really that pumped up to talk to somebody on this show. And I caught myself watching his TikTok for 2.5 hours a while back, and it's just every video he's out there producing of the way that he's making these baits. He's teaching you how to do it. He's showing you the work in progress, and the kid is just doing a phenomenal job, putting something really top quality out there and some stuff that we've never even seen before. So I hope you guys really enjoyed that. Now, as far as a fishing report, New Jersey fishing is still pretty good. I don't really have a report for you this week because Aaron is not here for Florida. So if you want to get out there in Jersey and catch some flounder, the fluke fishing has been pretty good. They're a little scarce, but when you do find the pile, they are biting. The striper fishing is not super on fire right now because as we know, we're in the dog days of summer. The fish go a little bit deeper, but there are still some big fish out there being caught by some charter captains that I'm seeing posts. The sea bass fishing, it's only 2 per limit right now, but it's still pretty good. So get out there and bend the rod. I'm Chris. This is Angler Talk, and I'm out. Tight lines.
Welcome to the Angler Talk Podcast with Chris and Aaron. Brought to you by phenominal.com.